tempo trades. In today's video, we're going to be going over some more IFEG setups. You guys really seem to like this type of video where every couple of weeks I sit down, go over in depth of my trades and what I was seeing and why I took them. And these trades netted me a little over $20,000 across all my prop firm accounts. We have executions, there's proof here, all the P&Ls and stuff like that. And I've done this all live in the Discord every single day. So you're more than welcome to go check that out if you have any doubts. So let's get straight into the video. All right, so the first play from last video would be August 19th. So we're gonna start from there. As you could see, we have a bearish SMT off of the Asia sweep, right? So we know that these two pairs, NQ and ES, like to follow each other. So when one pair sweeps a level and the other pair doesn't, that is an SMT. That's the market giving us a hint that we could be trending in a certain direction, okay? So once Asia comes and sweeps this major liquidity level, ES, and NQ doesn't, that is giving me bearish confluence. Now, the other confluence is how we wicked up. We reacted very nicely. We didn't pump past the level. We wicked and instantly started grinding down. And then as you could see on the left, ES and NQ, or NQ, excuse me, NQ had really good bearish reactions, went through this gap with force and momentum. We didn't accumulate in the gap. We didn't stall. We just invalidated the gap with one death candle, I guess you could call it. And then we went down to these two TPs here. So that is the play. I pretty much used the ES major liquidity sweep with good reactions to tell me that we were about to short. And then having this London low as a draw on liquidity makes the play even stronger. I'm very, very surprised that London low didn't hit here. It actually missed by like 5 points. You still hit 2 TPs, so it's not the end of the world, but having this good momentum with a major liquidity sweep, we even created a 1-minute order block right here. You see the up close candle is followed right by a down close candle that creates an order block at the body. Very shocked that third and final TP didn't hit, but it is what it is. This was still a great play and, you know, made around $3,500. Okay, here is play number 2 on August 20th. So bearish SMT with NQ once again. So we're, you know, first 2 plays we're using this SMT. Now the SMT is not required. There's going to be plays you're going to see that where there is no SMT, but SMT is just an added confluence. It'll give you more conviction. If you're already bullish and we form a bullish SMT and we're getting good momentum, that just gives you more confidence that the play is going to work. We came up. ES swept London high right here. NQ did not sweep the same exact high right here. So now there is a bearish SMT. This play was actually taken on ES, which is rare for me, because NQ didn't create any solid gaps that I'm seeing here. I mean, there's this one, but for whatever reason, I took this one on ES. It could also be because we already swept, as you could see. On NQ, we've already swept London and Asia low here pre-market, but on ES, Asia low has been on tap. So that could also be a reason why I took this on ES. But as you could see, we came up, swept a major liquidity area, got great reactions, closed under the IFEG, and then we just dumped to the other liquidity area, which is Asia low. So this is just textbook. I look for this every single day. You're just looking for a major liquidity sweep, good reactions, maybe SMT, that will help. It's not needed, but you know, good reactions, maybe an SMT, good momentum, and just target strong liquidity on the opposite side of the, you know, the other direction. All right, here's the next play, August 21st. Again, pretty simple here. This time there is no SMT, right? We come down at around 12 p.m. So this one's interesting because the play was not taken in the 9:30 to 11 a.m. window. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see this was taken around 12, which is lunchtime. For me, 9:30 to 11 a.m. is going to be the highest probability window. The plays are going to play out better. The momentum is going to be better. You know, the probabilities are going to be better. Once you trade in that lunchtime window, it's a risk. Yes, you're going to have plays that work like this, and you're going to have plays that would have worked in the morning, but failed because we're in this window. So this one just happened to work. Around 12 o'clock, we swept Asia. We got great reactions. The second we swept Asia, almost every single candle after that was green. That clearly shows me that the algorithm is changing from a sell model to a buy model. I entered off the IFEG. We took 3 trims here, and we had a good day. This one went for almost 100 points, it looks like. So This was a pretty solid day, very, very textbook. Now, this one, if you compare it to the previous play, doesn't have as good of a close, right? Because it took, 4, 5, 6 candles to get through the gap, which is not as high confidence if we would just get one super pump candle through the gap. But nonetheless, it did work out. This was a big day for me. So this was $10,000 across all the firms. Just on Top Step alone, it was like 4,500 if I do the math. And this had no major liquidity sweep. So this is a very unique one. This is an interesting play, and this is not something I do very often, but essentially the context behind this play, I remember it clear as day. If you go back to August 22nd, you're going to see that we dumped like 400 or 500 points. I think it was off some news. It might have been the Japan interest rate news, but we pretty much had some news here, and we just dumped 400 or 500 points. And I was saying, like, price has to rebalance itself at some point. I'm not going to catch a falling knife. I'm going to wait till I see the first sign of bullishness, and I'm going to try to catch a sniper entry. And that's exactly what happened here. Again, this is outside the New York AM kill zone. I caught this one at around 12 o'clock again. And this just worked back-to-back days, right? So we have this right here. I enter on the close. And then we hit 3 TPs. Really, really big day. This went 100 points. Caught $1,500 per account, which is massive. And 1144 right before it even inversed. I called this out. Not the highest probability play, because we don't have a major sweep, right? We have the internal sweep right here. You see we have a swing low, and then this candle sweeps the swing low. So that is an internal sweep, but there's no Asia sweep. There's no London sweep. Maybe if you were to go on the 4-hour or the 1-hour, you could see us sweeping that on the way down. But really, for me, this is just a conviction play. This is just me saying, hey, we've dumped 500 points. I know we have to rebalance. Price has to give a little retrace eventually, and I'm going to try to catch that move, and that's exactly what happened here. This was another example of SMT. So as you could see, NQ did not go up and sweep London. It's not even on the screen. ES came up and swept London. Once it did that, I was leaning bearish because of the major liquidity sweep. I inversed the first IFEG we got. And then we ended up dumping 100 points. I mean, this one's pretty easy. This one's really important because if you look here, I'll zoom in a little bit, but if you look here, this could have stopped you out if you didn't hold it properly. With the IFEGs, we always want to make sure you only stop out when you get a full candle close above the gap. So yes, price did come up wick above into that stop loss area, but because we didn't get a full 2-minute candle close, because that's the time frame we're entering on, this play is still valid and you shouldn't get out of it. And then, yeah, it worked for 100 points. I don't think it dumped all the way down, or else I would have screenshotted that. But, this is about 80 points. You'll take that any day of the week. All right, so second to last play here, August 29th and then the 30th. Here's the 29th. This might be a major liquidity sweep if this is a 4-hour high. So typically with liquidity, I like overnight areas. I like session high-low. I like previous day high-low. And then you can do 4-hour and 1-hour high-low for your major liquidity sweeps. Obviously, I still rank them. Like, I'm much more confident in a London sweep than a 1-hour sweep. But if you do get a 1-hour sweep and you get good reactions and momentum, it could be worth taking a shot on it. So for this example, this looks to be a Thursday. And then right here, as you could see, we swept a previous day high. We swept Wednesday's London high. I waited a long time, actually, because there's a lot of chop here, momentum and accumulation. And then finally right here, I decided to inverse this gap because I'm assuming this bearish candle right before it. That's a really good sign that the play is going to end up working. So I inverse this. We accumulated for about 4 to 5 minutes, finally hit our break even area, and then quickly went and hit 1 TP. This looks to be a 50-point short, but yeah, could have hit way more TPs. And this is also something you want to look at. I mean, a play like this only worked for 50 and it didn't go the full 100 or 100 plus points we normally look for. And that could be because of reactions, momentum, volume, and all those things, right? We swept Wednesday's London high and we didn't really dump right away. We had a little bit of a down move, accumulated a little bit, then popped, then another down move. So it's not as, you know, there's not much conviction here as some of the other plays I've shown you, where once we sweep that thing, it's just an instant reversal. Okay, and here's the final play. This one was on August 30th, so ending the month, and this is all about patience, right? We sweep London. Now, we know that we could have a play off of London, but because Asia is close by, we don't get impatient. We don't just jump the gun and get right in and get manipulated. We make sure we say, okay, we have another major draw on liquidity below us, which is the Asia low. Let me wait for that to get swept, and then I'll look for longs. That's exactly what we did. We swept London, got a kind of a fake pump. I mean, this was 50 points, but we pumped a little bit. Then we accumulated, dumped down to the second major draw on liquidity. And once we swept that, as you can see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candles in a row. And as soon as we sweep the level that I marked, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles in a row. That is not a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. So once we sweep Asia, we get instant bullish reactions. Very, very good here. We inverse the 5-minute gap. I did not take this on the 5-minute. I probably just screenshotted this because on the 1-minute, there'd be so many candles, because you can see this play lasted around 2 hours. So I probably just screenshotted it on the 5-minute to make it more condensed. But as you can see, it inversed the gap, immediately went for 2 TPs. This play almost went for 100 points. That looks to be about 90. But again, we don't complicate it, guys. We don't. We look for the same exact thing. We have the same confluences. We do the same thing. And if our setup does not present itself, we do not take a trade. This is how I'm able to have an 80% win streak, right? This is how I'm able to make $10,000 every single month trading this model. And I'm trying to teach it to you guys. You could trade with me for free for 7 days if you just join the Discord, and I can prove to you that this shit works. So that was pretty much it. That was from August 12th to the 30th. So in the next video, I will go over September. And right now, as I'm recording this in October, I am on a 18-day win streak, I believe, 18 green days in a row. So that video, when it's ready to post, will be very interesting. But thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions about any of the setups, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.